Welcome back to the Nitty Gritty. My name's Nitty. That's Gritty. And
My name's Ash.
And my name's Allicea, and we're the hosts of the Nitty Gritty. It's been a hot second. Nice to see you all.
We released an episode last weekend, Allicea.
Yeah, but that race was technically more weekends ago.
I guess that's true.
So it's been a hot second since we've hopped on the Zoom. You guys might be wondering, oh my gosh, Allicea, is this a picture you took at the Grand Prix? No, because Ash and I didn't go.
Oh my gosh. First of all, the way that Aston Martin saw our tweet that was like, we're supporting from Toronto, couldn't get tickets. And they reposted our tweet.
And tagged us.
Bro, I was thinking about this and I was like, I said this to Allicea and I was like, they had to screenshot our tweet, take it into Photoshop, edit that graphic, bring it back into Twitter, think of a caption and tweet it. And during any of those steps, they didn't think, maybe we should invite these people to the race because they literally said they don't have tickets.
Like, I know it's not as easy as that, but like, we've been emailing, messaging, in communications with, being forwarded off to other managers to come to this Grand Prix. And then I feel like them doing that to us, not only that, but them viewing our story after we reposted them.
No.
And like being like, not them not giving us tickets. They viewed that story of us saying that. So it's really been a weekend of L's for the Nitty Gritty team personally.
Obviously, it's not expected that we just get invited to a Grand Prix because we said we didn't have tickets. But I just think it's kind of funny. It's kind of ironic.
It's just funny. Yeah, we're not saying that we are deserving to be sent and go trained out to Montreal. I can't do the go train in Montreal, the Via. It's just that one day we'd like to be. So we try to work really hard to get there.
I think we deserve it. I just think I get that that's not the team's first priority. So like, I get it. Obviously, like being ready for the race and preparing for all this stuff and everything else they have to do is their priority.
Actually racing. Yeah, that is.
It's just funny because we got noticed for not having tickets. That's just ironic. Anyways. Okay, I'm sorry. The first thing I want to do in this episode is I actually really want to go into a Lance rant. Oh. Like, I really want to go into a Lance rant. Should we save it for later? Or should we do it now?
I guess you can do it now. Is it too early?
Is it too early?
Do we make them wait?
Like, should we, yeah, like
make them wait. Tease them. We love to tease.
Okay. We'll be really random about it. Like, you won't even expect it coming, but Lance Rant is coming. When? You'll never know.
You'll never know.
Until it happens.
XO.
Gossip Girl, Pure Gasly.
Pure Gasly. So on Sunday, Ash and I went to a local restaurant bar in Kensington called Trinity Commons.
Okay, free PR.
A free PR to watch the race. It was a grand old time. We had poutine because, Canada. And where was I going with this? Oh, if you follow our social media, you would have seen that because we might have been posting some early reviews and updates on the race. 3 mimosas in, you know what I'm saying? It's a different vibe than what you see here.
Some tipsy commentary.
Some tipsy commentary for those of you who follow our Instagram. You would have seen our live tipsy commentary of the race. But now we'll go into our normal, sober, nitty-gritty commentary of the race, shall we?
All right. First of all, Gordon Ramsay was the Grand Prix. How random was that in Montreal? Like, why?
I was about to say, there wasn't really like that many faces at the Montreal Grand Prix.
Yeah, celebrities not really.
Like, where are the Canadians at? I'm sidetracking already. So I saw, Ron Weasley yesterday in concert. And then Ron Weasley played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He played history on Friday. Then Saturday, Sunday, he played the ACC. And Shawn Mendes was a guest at his Saturday concert. There was no guest on Sunday when I went. So I'm like, Sean, you were a surprise guest at Ed. Sean, why didn't you go to the Grand Prix in your own country? If you were already in Toronto, just hop on the Via.
Hop over.
So there
Via. You think Shawn Mendes is taking the Via rail?
Listen, Listen, he's from Pickering.
He's just a humble man from Pickering.
He's just a humble man from Pickering. Like Shawn Mendes, where were you? Justin Bieber, where were you?
Shawn
Shania
Mendes.
Twain,
Where were you in the morning, Shawn Mendes? Shawn Mendes.
Shawn
Mendes.
I
Where were you in the morning?
What you did last summer at Miami? What was this summer technically? Where was he? Miami?
He went to. He wasn't in Miami. That was last year.
Yeah. I know what you did last summer.
Yes, you're right. He was last summer. Wait, my bad.
Other Canadians.
He wasn't
Ryan
even at
Ryan Reynolds, not Gosling.
Ryan
Sorry,
Reynolds.
I'm head empty Barbie at the moment. Ryan
Barbie.
Reynolds. Where were you?
I can't think of any Canadian celebrities who might want to go.
Ryan, where were you?
But are they even interested in? I guess you don't have to be interested to go.
You don't have
You're
to
rich.
be interested to go.
Where was Johnny Orlando?
I was thinking about at the Ed Sheeran concert, like when he sang Love Yourself by Justin Bieber, and Justin Bieber didn't come on, so like it's not Justin. And like I guess it's gonna be Shawn. And I'm like, who else would he bring on that's not Shawn Mendes? And the next person that came to my mind was Johnny Orlando. And I'm like, what if Ed Sheeran's like, everyone give it up, and we're all gonna be like, Shawn, and it's like Johnny Orlando, and I was gonna be like, Johnny Orlando. And I spent like one good song into the concert thinking about how I'm gonna react when Johnny Orlando comes on. So,
okay, love that for you. Would you know the words if Johnny Orlando performed?
What's that? What's one of his popular songs? I'm confusing him and Jacob Sartorius.
I could not tell you.
And you could wear my.
No,
I know that's Jacob.
No. I could not tell you.
I just remember seeing that video of Johnny Orlando being like, wants to collaborate with The Weeknd, and then I laughed.
I think Johnny Orlando sings a song that's like, everybody wants you, no. You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Listen, I remember seeing some of his Instagram pictures like most recently when he was touring. And he was wearing like a little white tank top moment. And I was like, okay, Johnny Orlando. I see.
You know what? Random fun fact. I'm pretty sure Johnny Orlando is born on the exact same date and year, like exact same birthday as Kika. So here's dating Johnny Orlando.
You care, Johnny Orlando. Iconic trio. That's gonna be the cover for today's episode. Pierre, Ash, and Johnny Orlando.
Oh my god.
Trifecta.
No.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit? No. Pierre, Ash, and Johnny Orlando.
Is this mean that me and Johnny Orlando should date because Pierre and Kiko work out? Does that mean we would work out? Johnny Orlando. This is me asking for your hand in marriage.
Nitty Gritty Podcast.
He is into cars. Anyways, that's kind of off track. We're talking about dating Johnny Orlando. Back to F1.
In conclusion, not that many faces at the Montreal Grand Prix. It didn't really feel extravagant in any way. We saw Lance with the children at the front for like one portion of the national anthem. And I'm like, why can't those kids be Ash and I?
Bruh. I'm sorry. I need to like think of what I say before I say it. Let's just say Lance looked amazing. I was like, this is everything.
Oh.
So I'm like cheating on Charles, the Charles flag in the back.
Just move your head back.
Yeah.
There you go. Not cheating if we can't see him. Just kidding, guys. Cheating is bad. Okay. Put it up.
That.
Keep that in. We should be a little spicy. Okay, anywho, free practice one. Are we good to get into this?
Yeah, we're good.
CCTV issues. Everything was like pushed back, delayed.
Honestly, I did not expect Canada to be so fucking chaotic. Like, I didn't realize we were like that.
We were messy. It was a messy weekend. And
you know what? It was messy because, not because Canada, but because Quebec. That's why it was messy.
So, free practice one, messy as we said. The session was initially stopped to get Pierre off the track because he was having like traction issues. And he was literally just like stopped on the track. And I was like, girl, get the wheels
Then
open.
The red flag just stayed. And I was confused about the CCTV too, because I was like, is it that deep? And then I was listening to the commentators, and basically if CCTV is down, they can't see all areas of the track which is like basically not safe because if something were to happen or something were to come on track, the FIA can't see. So like that could potentially put a driver's life at
Like
risk. And
TBH,
we don't want to
the
do that.
FIA scene anyway.
All of the impeding.
All of the impeding. There's a lot of impeding. Sometimes the FIA has silly little glasses on. Like, you know those kaleidoscopes. When you look through them, it's like all. Sometimes I feel like the FIA is wearing those type of glasses.
I thought you were trying to say they're wearing like magnifying. Like
no,
you know how,
I mean like
your dentist wears those glasses so they can like see really
like the
close to
little
your teeth.
ones. Yeah.
That's what they're seeing.
Free practice 2. Session was red flagged twice. All the red flags. It's because of Esty Bestie Nico. Both of their cars. So Nico Hulkenberg up in smoke. He was set ablaze. It was coming out from the back of his car, and then Esty Bestie was due to a suspected loss of water pressure, and this was like just before the rain really started to hit the track. And then it got some really slippery dippery moments.
You know what? We should just be thankful that this session was extended by 30 minutes because free practice 1 like didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because there was literally like 2 red flags. So great, because they don't stop the clock during free practice. They only stop it during qualifying and like the race. So I was like, oh my gosh. Also, like, how much dry data did the teams really get? I'm like surprised how well the race went, considering that most of the data that the teams had was from like the track being
the
wet.
rain. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, you guys kind of ate that. I'm not gonna lie.
Free practice 3.
Sorry.
Also red flag.
Free practice 2 during that. Lance, his car had not Lance Rant, don't worry.
Whoop, whoop.
Sorry, that was
down, everyone.
That was a false alarm. They were putting FlowViz on his car because they were Aston Martin brought upgrades to Canada, and they don't want to get the FlowViz inside the car because then it gets messy and all over the driver's visor and stuff. So they put a whole garbage bag over Lance. And then they were spraying the FlowViz on his car, and I was like, all I can think of right now is how your parents tell you to never put your like face in a plastic bag because like you'll literally suffocate.
Yeah.
But then I also thought of that new song that's been trending with Cardi B on it, and it's like, rip me out the plastic. I'm feeling brand new. That's literally what I was like, okay, Lance is in his TikTok.
You know, with all the money that his papa got, they still got to put a plastic bag over him to put the FlowViz on.
They couldn't afford to make him a custom shield or something, you know.
I know. I mean, a plastic bag made of gold. Like, come on.
Made of gold. A gold bag, gold-plated plastic. Is that a thing? I don't think that's possible.
Coming to Aston Martin 2024. Stay tuned.
New merch.
Merch drop. Is that all we have for FP2?
Yeah. Sorry.
Like I was saying, FP3 session red flag after Carlos crashed. Oh, we were instinct at that. Nice. Yeah.
That's literally all I had for FP3.
That's the only bullet point I have down. But might I tell you, my qualifying notes?
Oh my gosh, the tea is hot. Also, during free practice, it just like started randomly raining so much. I was like, girl, like, are you okay? Like, Canada, what is up? Like, I didn't realize you guys were the West Coast.
West Coast represent. Now put your hands up. Oh.
At first, I couldn't catch on to what you were singing.
That was rude. No. Like, you understand.
You were off tune. I'm joking. Oh my gosh, you're so funny. Okay. Let's crack my knuckles. Let's get into it.
Let's get into the nitty gritty, as we say on this podcast. Whoa.
Okay, name drop. Oh my gosh. Qualifying Q1. Literally 3 minutes into Q1, Joe was like, "Stop."
Wait a minute. You're in
a very musical mood today.
I was really tired. Joe was like, "Stop." He was having an issue. With what? The Ferrari power unit.
Help. Not the Ferrari. That happened, and there was so much traffic after that. You know, at first when I got into F1, I was How the fuck can there be traffic? It's literally like 20 cars on track. What do you mean? Bro, I think F1 traffic is like the worst thing ever. Like worse than real traffic because you're like risking your life out here. But that's why there's so much impeding because there's so much traffic. Like, is there not a way for the FIA to like work something out? Like, so that's not happening?
Yeah. Like, essentially, this caused like a red flag because he was stranded in a powerless car on the track. Like his car was able to restart during the red flag period though, and he went back to the pits, but then with like no further set time, he was just at the back of the grid essentially. And I was like, you know what, King? At least you're still doing well.
Oh, impeding. More
Oh
impeding.
gosh. We're going into the impeding. Okay. Let's begin.
Carlos impeding on Pierre.
Yes.
Pierre was so mad.
He was furious. That radio. Oh god.
That man scares me.
He was furious. He was fast and furious, as we say in the industry.
I'm trying to remember how to say angry in French, but I don't know. Angry.
Me doing French immersion and not knowing how to say angry.
It'd be like that.
Bache!
What? Bache?
Bache.
Bache?
Bache.
With an F?
Yeah.
The way I was like, Bache.
Everything but.
I've never heard of that.
Il est fâché. Oui.
Never learned that.
Okay.
Enough. We're channeling our bilingualness because Quebec is a French-speaking province.
Happy Pride to all the bilinguals out there.
Max. Yeah, bilingual. Trilingual. Q2.
Yuki also actually received a replace grid penalty from impeding on Nico in Q1 as well.
It was in Q1? I didn't know that.
Was it not in Q1?
I don't know when.
I thought it was in Q1.
Because
listen, I was out when this was happening, so I was keeping up from my phone. We were doing Father's Day activities on Saturday because the race was on Father's Day. Sorry, y'all.
That is so slay though.
It's Father's Day. We went to a pottery place and painted.
Yeah, I saw a picture. So cute. Your dad looks so cute painting his little mug.
Yeah.
Lance also was impeding. That's why I'm like, I don't know when all this happened. But
so Lance
impeded.
Lance, that was in Q2. Lance received his third replace grid penalty for impeding on SU Bestie in Q2.
On his own bestie.
Yeah, on his own bestie.
Lance, don't do SU Bestie like that.
Because it was raining in Q2, drivers were using the intermediate tires.
Oh my gosh! Don't even fucking get me started on Q2. I'm actually angry.
Go. Get started.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to go into a deep, passionate rant right now. The rage I felt, not Lance Rant.
Oh, regular rant.
That was a false alarm again. This is a Charles rant. Oh my gosh. First of all, as you said, it was raining, but it started, like, even if it's like raining on certain parts of the track, like the track can get dry like pretty easily if the cars are driving over it all the time. So there was a dry line, like on the racing line, it was dry. So Charles says he wants to go in for softs because there's parts of the track is dry enough to drive on it with softs. But Ferrari's like, no, stay out on the inters and get data on the inters. And I was like, okay. Well. And then he stayed on inters and pitted for softs later. And when he pitted for softs and went out, it started raining. Even though they knew rain was coming at the end of Q2. Literally at the start of Q2, Ferrari was like, oh, rain coming in 6 to 7 minutes. Then why would you not put Charles on softs when it hasn't started raining yet? Like,
because head empty.
The confusion I felt, if Charles had just went on softs at the beginning of the session, he could have set a faster time, and then everyone else went on inters for the other half of Q2, and when they couldn't improve, they were on inters. Literally, the reason Charles got out in Q2 was for that reason. He wasn't able to set a fast lap because he wasn't on softs at the first half of Q2. And I cannot believe that someone as stupid as me could understand strategy better than Ferrari.
Rant done.
That's all.
Dropped.
I won't be taking any further questions.
No further questions unless it's for the Ferrari strategist interview process.
Tire me.
Tire me.
Tire me. I meant hire, but yeah, it makes sense too.
Yeah, that was something. That was all the qualifying was just kind of messy.
Q2, really fucking bad day to be a nitty gritty host. Lance and Charles out in Q2. Like, why would you do that to me? You know who else was out in Q2?
Who?
Checo.
Valtteri? Oh, Checo, yeah.
And you know what the T is? People are like, other second Red Bull drivers have been demoted for less. Like, they were literally qualifying like P6, P7, and they got demoted. So why is Checo still here? And I was like, y'all are spilling some MFT right now.
And you know who got the fastest lap? Alex.
Literally, that I didn't even think of that. That is so ironic that one of the demoted Red Bull drivers was literally higher than Checo in Q2. Well,
and he did really well this entire race, but we'll get into it later.
To be fair, Checo has been winning more races than the other Red Bull drivers won.
I think that if Fernando starts to pass Checo in the points, which he's kind of close to doing, that's when more conversation, I think, will spike.
What, they're gonna move Alonso to Red Bull?
No. I just think it's more being like, look, now Red Bull's not dominating the top two. You know?
That's true. That's true. Maybe you're right. Maybe you are right.
I don't know. I think anything that will just give people more opportunity to talk smack about Checo, like the more the secrets will start to spill.
I feel like we have so much tea incoming for the rest of the season, and I'm like not mentally prepared because
I definitely think it'll be a silly season.
Oh my gosh, I haven't even thought about a silly season.
Obvious, because did you see the video I sent you about George's contract?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
No. I send you so many videos all the time. Essentially, George has extended his contract, I think it's into 2024, for only $8 million. While, like, for example, Valtteri, who Toto manages, $10 million contract, from my understanding.
With Alfa
Lando Norris, $12 million contract is how much he's on currently. I just thought it was interesting because I'm like, George is kind of outperforming Lewis. Yeah, he is making like okay, hot take, everybody. I think
already.
I think George is probably like the best second driver on the grid currently. That's my hot take.
Okay, team.
That's my team. I might change it later when I think about it more. It's coming out of my ass right now, guys. But I think, yeah. And
What's your source? What's your source? I made it the fuck up.
I made it the fuck up. My sources don't look at what happened this race.
Oh my god.
Don't look at what happened this race.
You know, I thought you were gonna say that because George's contract, like, he's being paid so little, like you thought he would like take a contract somewhere else.
Oh,
and
no.
I was like, I don't think he would.
George deserves a little more money.
It's not like Mercedes can afford it. Like, how much are they paying Lewis? The fact that he only makes $8 million is crazy.
That's why I'm like, when like drivers like Lando, Carlos, both making.
Sorry, Carlos makes $12 million. So does Lando.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And George makes 8.
Valtteri makes 10.
That is crazy. You know what? Random thing. They need to make like F1 Fantasy's prices accurate to their actual net worth. Because I'm pretty sure on F1 Fantasy, Checo's worth like $20 million.
In conclusion, maybe I should have become an F1 driver so I can have money like that. Final answer.
Yeah, because you can just become an F1 driver like that.
It's not that hard. Take it back, guys. Guys, that was a joke. I don't even have a normal license, let alone a super license.
Oh my gosh, I don't have a road license either.
So please don't. I don't remember which one's gas and which one's brake. That's what we call a joke.
That's kind of concerning that you don't. It's fine.
I don't drive.
I don't drive either. But I think at this point, it's like, if I get a license, it's like not actually like.
You live downtown. You have no reason to have a car.
That's actually a really valid answer. I was gonna say more that it's gonna be unauthentic of us because our whole thing is that we're two
Girls that
podcasts
can't drive.
talking about F1 but can't drive. So for
Yeah.
the sake of the podcast, I'm refusing to get my license.
For the sake of the podcast, we will not drive.
I
That's what I'm
wanna
gonna tell my dad.
I wanna remain authentic. Oh my gosh. Okay, Q3.
Max began Q3 with the slide off at like the final corner because I'm like slippery dippery. Be careful, Max. Piastri fully off the exit at turn 6. Only crashed out. Sorry, King. Another red flag for Nico, correct?
No.
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 Oh, wait, no, it was because of Oscar, and then this is when it messed up. Nico set his time at this point. That's what happened.
Yeah, so
I could not understand what I wrote down.
Before the red flag, like right before the red flag, Nico completed his lap that put him in P2.
Yeah.
But Nico,
I don't even want to read how the sentence is written out when I wrote here. Because I'm like, what does this say? And I'm like, Oscar crash, red flag, Nico time set. And I'm like, what does this mean? Please proceed.
Basically he set his time before the red flag, ended up in P2, but when the red flag happened, I guess the yellow flag at the moment before the red.
Yeah.
Nico was over the delta time. So he received a 3-place grid penalty for speeding under yellow flag conditions.
Yeah.
So that wasn't great.
Yeah.
Alex was also pretty up there. I think he was in like P5, but he got his lap time deleted for track limits, I'm pretty sure.
Lovely.
So, lots of crazy stuff happening. See, going like after qualifying was done, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like so great. Like I actually like love this mix up on the grid. And then I went to work because oh my gosh, I was like, oh yeah, qualifying will be done at 5. I work at 5:30. No, qualifying went to like literally the last second until I had to leave. And then I got back from work and I was like, what happened? Like what happened to the grid?
It was definitely a messy time, is what I will say.
Lance being in P16 at his home race hurt.
I think it's funny. It's funniest to watch these updates happen on like the F1 Instagram because they're like making posts as they happen and then you see them like delete them after whenever like anyone's getting like impeded and then their grid spots change. And like, so I think that's really funny. Whenever you see them be like, bam, and they're like, wait, JK, and they're like, oh wait, no, JK, here it is. And they're like, ooh, it's always like the breaking news. So it's a fun time.
That reminds me of Suzuka last year when
oh my god,
they were giving out partial points, but Max was like, they couldn't like decide if Max was the world champion or not.
They're like
Max himself being like, well, am I world champion or not?
He's like, someone let me know. Okay, I want to ask you a question, okay? So I don't know what to say. So according to the tire supplier for like the races, they were saying that the best strategic like route for the race would be between like a 2-stop doing medium, hard, or like a 1-stop doing hard and medium. But there were 4 drivers, okay, who only had 1 set of hards available. You tell me what 4 drivers only had 1 set of hards.
Logan?
No.
Alex?
No. Like based on like
Charles?
Yeah.
Carlos?
Yeah.
What
other team do you think is messy enough not to have? No.
Okay.
It's a pair from a team, so it's like one whole team.
Okay. Is it Pierre? Why am
it's
I
a little higher up on
Mercedes?
The
Red Bull.
Yeah. Mercedes, yeah.
I don't think that messy, but they didn't have 2
They only had I got this from like the article on the F1 site for the race, but it said so it's like the tire supplier was saying the best option is a 2-stop medium hard or 1-stop hard to medium. But Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, and Steins were 4 drivers who only had 1 set of hards available. And I just thought that was a fun little fact.
How?
That's what I was confused about. That's why when I was reading it, I thought this was interesting and copy and pasted it into my notes. I'm like, let me tell Ash and see what she thinks. I'm like, how do you only have one set of hards available?
I need to like pay attention to what compounds use during practices. I like don't pay enough attention because I'm like, were they testing on that could be probable if they were testing hards during free practice because that's what they were going to be using during the race likely. But then they used up two
when you used up all the things you're going to practice with, so now your practice is pointless because you only have one set of hards.
I don't get it. What?
So that was just a fun factoid from the site, everybody. Name drop the F1 website.
The F1 source F1. Going into the race,
yeah.
Charles had a helmet for Canada. I literally am gonna butcher. I cannot speak French. I'm literally gonna butcher his name.
Oui.
Going into the race, Charles was supposed to wear a helmet to honor Villeneuve. I'm just gonna call him Villeneuve because I'm gonna butcher his first name because I can't speak French. And basically who the circuit is literally named after. We all know who I'm talking about. And he wore it during pre-practice 1, but after that, no one saw him wearing it, and everyone's like, what the heck? What happened to his helmet? And basically, Jacques Villeneuve was not happy with Charles having a helmet that like was dedicated to his dad. And apparently, like, it was like, he didn't have permission or something. But the day of the race, he ended up meeting up with his like other family, like his daughter and his wife and stuff, and they were like, oh my gosh, like no, like totally it's fine. So Charles ended up wearing the helmet, but I was like, that is so random. Like, why are you beefing so hard?
Do you think there was some like, do you think like the mom and sister had to go up to him and be like, why are you acting problematic? Stop and let the kid wear the helmet.
Also, speaking of helmets, I'm gonna go into my Lance right now. Right before the race.
Insert club music that Lance listens to.
I just wanted to talk about Lance's helmet.
Oh, is that what the Lance Rant was about? Okay.
No, other stuff too, but
okay, because I was like, wait, girl, I have
no.
Lance, I was like, wait,
his helmet was so cute. I actually like shed a tear. That is so adorable. Basically, he designed a helmet that had like QR codes to all these places in Montreal, like his favorite deli, his favorite restaurant, like whatever, all these different places that he grew up going to. And you could basically scan the QR code and look at these places. I thought that was so cute. And speaking of those places, one of the places that was on his helmet, he took the team there as like a team dinner to like show them his favorite restaurant. Like, tell me that isn't so cute.
For the people.
And also
for the people.
Alonso and Lance being like buddy, like love that the video of Alonso recording Lance from behind being like whatever, like I want to take a pic. And Lance just
I want to take a pic.
And Lance just snatching the phone, and Alonso posted the picture. It was so funny.
The side eye.
It was Lance's side eye, but I don't know why everyone wants to make it seem like Alonso like actually hates Lance and he's only nice to him like because Alonso has a contract under like Lance's dad. Like it seems like they actually just get along.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
why can't people just like let
I also feel like, what's the age gap between the two of them?
Quite a bit.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how much are you like, I don't know, also like beefing with someone that much younger than you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's literally
like, I think once again, they have a lot of time together that we do not see. And like, I feel like there's no reason for them to be beefing. And we see the way they drive and work together seems, especially with like, I feel like Nando like supporting Lance, especially when they're on the track. So, I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
I think they, despite their age gap, they get along because I feel like they give off a similar vibe. Like, I'm not gonna call them calm and collected because they're not calm and collected, but they're like, they don't give a fuck.
And you can see that in the interviews, the two of them. No fuck.
They got that I don't give a fuck energy, and that's why it works. Also, speaking of the Lance family,
what are their signs and what do their signs mean together.
Oh my gosh, we talked about this in the astrology episode, I'm pretty sure, but I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Lance is literally just like a huge Scorpio. And from what I remember, Alonso is Leo.
What does that mean?
In Mac's words, Leo Alonso means, aha, look at me. So he is a Leo sun, Cancer moon.
Rye.
Hey Rye, this is our weekly shout out to Rye. Last week it was Alex Dashwood.
And he did not watch that episode.
And then Lance is just all Scorpio. I don't know enough about astrology to tell you how that works together. It's funny because fire and water is like not what you'd expect to work, but it works. Well, to be fair, Alonso has a water moon, so it could make sense why Lance and Alonso get along. Also, in the category of Lance Rant, in relation to the Stroll family.
Oh yes!
We have been beating this dead like topic for so long, and we concluded it a few episodes ago being like, I think it was in the Monica episode where we were like clearing Lawrence Stroll's name, being like, hey, like Lawrence.
Us clearing the name that we trashed ourselves in an episode with Rye.
Listen,
we're cleaning up our
messes.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of like speculation about why Lawrence Stroll wasn't at Chloe's wedding, and then in our Monaco episode we were like, oh, like he was actually there, but like there's not that many pictures. The pictures at the after party, and Allicea was like, well, like after party isn't the wedding. Why wasn't he at the wedding? Guys, we can confirm Lawrence Stroll was at the wedding, and the pictures are adorable.
They're
I actually like wanted to sob, like Lawrence literally crying. The daddy daughter dance pictures, like
that's good.
I don't know. I want to befriend this entire family.
You heard it. I love that it's coming to a conclusion at the Canada Grand Prix.
Oh, we really brought it. Bring it on home, John B.
We brought it home.
I'm sorry. Bring it on home, Lance Stroll. Okay. End of Lance Rant. Is there anything else we wanted to add to Lance Rant? I feel like I tend to,
He has really nice eyebrows, but that's just a normal observation.
I could actually speak about Lance Stroll for an entire episode.
His smile.
Him.
The color green. She's my sunshine in the rain.
Lance, I don't know the last time you visited Toronto was, but I feel like you'd really like you here, so I think you should come visit.
I pull up, we know the spots. Not really, Ash knows the spots.
If anything, he's gonna go to 44 and that's it.
Oh.
He's gonna be in the financial district, because that's where all the bouge stuff is at.
The bouge. And
but who knows? Maybe I'm just surprised that the Stroll family doesn't own a house on Bridle Path.
Maybe they do, and we just don't know.
Searching Lawrence Stroll properties.
Me on Reddit right now. Where does Lawrence Stroll live? Just kidding, guys. Don't go to their houses.
Do not dox people right now.
Don't be like what happened to Charles. Mind your own business.
Oh my gosh. People literally knocking at Charles' door.
If you are pulling up to everyone's houses, I'm not saying this isn't a threat, because I'm not saying I'm actually going to do this, but in an imaginary world, I would hit you with my car. I don't have a car, nor can I drive, nor would I ever hit you with my car. But in an imaginary world, if you were pulling up to these people's doors, I might hit you with my car.
You don't need to be able to do any of those things to hit someone with your car. You don't need a car. You can use anyone's car.
He's just a man. Hit him with your car.
Also, you don't have to be able to drive to hit someone with your car. That is like literally the whole purpose of hitting someone with your car, is that you don't have to drive.
I'm gonna pull up on a tricycle and hit you with my tricycle. I'm gonna pull up with one of those Razor scooters and hit you in your ankles and then run. That's my threat.
Real pain.
Anyone that was at Charles's house, I'm currently tracking you. Gonna pull up with a Razor scooter and hit you in your ankles. Scoot away.
Poor man has to move. Okay.
I can fit a couple things in my scooter, Charles. Let me know if you need some more trunk space.
Your scooter doesn't have trunk.
That was the joke.
Oh, sorry. I'm not catching on as much today. I was like, what do you mean?
What does she mean? We barely got into the race.
The race events. We haven't gotten into the race.
Okay, Esty Bestie overtook Nico, but then Kevin had brushed the wall.
I don't have any of this.
Okay, skip.
Listen,
Logan retired from the race. That's the next thing I have down.
I wasn't exactly in my senses when we were watching the race.
Girl, why do you think it took so long for me to write? Guys, I had already had 2 mimosas at this point. Empty stomach, okay? So, please.
Literally the first thing I have down is the squash match between Carlos and Lawrence.
Oh, you're early on. Okay. This was before I was paying attention to the screen. This was before I got there.
I think it is. My bad. But all I have to say is that Carlos was wearing that Puma shirt. The Sisterhood of the Travelling Puma Shirt.
The Travelling Puma Shirt.
If you know, you know.
If you're an old nitty-grittier, you know.
If you're a day one, you know.
Mm.
The shirt that gets passed around more than the Red Bull seat, that one. Yeah, as you were saying.
Sorry, I was yawning, girly. Oh, we yawned together.
Oh my gosh. Yawning together. Yeah, a few laps in, Logan was out. And our predictions about RDNF was incorrect.
I'm sorry, Nick. You just felt like a consistent option. But you know what? Shout out to those who know what a kilometer is.
Because Logan said, What the fuck is a kilometer?
Anyway.
Oscar.
So yeah, this
was literally in P6 at this point. I was like, who?
Yeah.
What? Huh? What are
you doing here? Logan Sargent's retirement. This resulted in the brief safety car during this period, which essentially allowed for like George to like go get his front wing fixed, from my understanding. Was this now?
You're asking the wrong person.
Guys, I was a little tipsy watching this race.
I was a little wavy. I was a little.
Oh no. This happens after. Okay, so this happens. Then Max reports that he hit a bird, didn't he? Max hit a bird.
Yeah, that was not great. It's poor mechanic who had to remove that.
And then George, just after this, is when George had like hopped over the curve at like I think it was turn 8 or turn 9 and like slammed into like the wall at the exit, which brought out the safety car. And then this is when everyone was getting like new front wings and went to the pit lanes. Now let's play a game. Who are the only 2 drivers that didn't pit? Is it A, Lando and I don't know, Alex, B, Lewis and Carlos, or C, Carlos and Charles? Ash, what do you think?
So I would say A, because McLaren literally pits 18 times a fucking. Actually, I wouldn't say A, because McLaren pits like 18 times a race. So I'm just gonna take like an educated guess and say that it's C2. C2.
You're right. Ferrari didn't pit for some reason, even though everyone else pitted.
You're giving Barbie right now.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
So yeah, I was like so fearful. And I remember telling you this. I was like, if they do a double stack, I might just have to like, I might just have to, because if I witness another double stack, I might like, I was like, boys, I was like, everyone else on the grid besides the 2 of you have gone into the pits. Like, aren't you feeling a little FOMO? Like, why are you out here? What are you doing here? Get inside. You got school in the morning, girl, as I would say. Yeah.
Literally that freaked me out. I was like, this is it. Like, I'm sitting in this public bar wearing a Ferrari hat looking like a fucking clown because
Ash and I were clowns a lot of the time at this place.
Speak for yourself. I'm joking.
Like when Ash and I were cheering, people were like not cheering, and then when they were cheering, Ash and I were like booing. So like Ash and I clearly have like had different tastes than everyone else there. Not
like the majority.
Yeah.
We're just not like other girls.
Like I like chicken nuggets and Star Wars. I'm quirky and different.
It's like not, you know.
You know, I
I
I'm just
cannot believe you just did that.
I'm just one of the guys. I'm just one
Oh
of the bros.
my god.
I'm
Okay.
just one of the guys.
Let's move on before I actually like have to leave.
Vomit myself.
Before yeah.
It's because I was watching Curtis Connor's video where he was like the not like other girls phenomenon again recently, and then cringed. So, anywho, during this period as well, there's some unsafe release going on because Lando had unsafe release during like everyone pitting and then getting out. It was between Lewis, Nando, and Lando. And then all three of them were investigated, but later in the race we found out that no further action was going to be taken. And then Lando was given a 5-second penalty for unsportsmanlike behavior. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what the unsportsmanlike behavior was, but
let's find out. Let's see. But I remember we saw like the unsafe release happening in the pit lane. I'd be like, whoa. Oh, whoa there, shawty. So Norris and Leclerc sailed past the limping Mercedes of Russell. That's funny. That's what the article wrote. And this is what the F1 article called "Explain Unsportsmanlike Behavior: Why Lando Norris was handed a 5-second penalty in Montreal." Then it said, as Lando and Leclerc sailed past the limping Mercedes of Russell and into the turn 10 chicane, Norris received a call from his engineer to tell him the safety car had been deployed. The engineer then adds, Lando, safety car, you are the second car. We are boxed this lap. Norris seemingly instructed that McLaren will be double stacking Piastri himself. Okay, so it says, accusing Norris of driving deliberately slowly in order to create enough gap for McLaren to seamlessly change both tires for him and Piastri. That's what it was.
That makes sense.
Because I saw that's one of the things that he was driving too slow, but I didn't really know what that meant in context of what was happening. But now that makes a lot of sense.
He's in a McLaren. Of course he's driving slow.
He's in a tractor. Just kidding, everybody. Tractors are very speedy.
During this also, after George like literally hit his tire and was limping, according to the F1 article.
That was hilarious. The limping Mercedes of George Russell, I think is what it said.
I thought he was gonna be out. I literally was like, well, George out. There goes my fastest lap prediction.
There goes my podium prediction of George in third.
But he was fine. They changed his tire and he was back on the track. But he did end up retiring later because he just wasn't getting results. So why waste all that, like all those resources, if you're literally not going to end up in the points?
Yeah.
Which is kind of like bad to say if you're like a lot of teams don't end up in the points, but like he didn't have a shot. So he's like, why try?
Why?
I just have to say that by lap 23, my predictions were the top 3. Like I just have to flex that. Like I actually
flexing hard.
think I'm like psychic.
Sure. She's psychic. If you could see into the future.
That's so. Oh my gosh, that's so Raven.
I'm just jealous that my predictions are wrong.
It's okay. Not all of us can be perfect, Allicea. It's like
yeah.
Also, Nick and Kevin going off the track together, I was like, okay,
yeah, brief yellow flag because of like the collision that was happening between him and Nick. Brief yellow flag. Before George retired, Alex still had like a set of hard tires on, and he was like holding off like George and Esteban and like Valtteri and like Norris behind him as like Russell Dunn like retired from like 8th or something. And yeah, I was just like, okay, Alex, okay, hold them off, girly, get him.
Bro, Alex,
that was my driver of the day.
Literally,
and he was.
Alex is so amazing.
So in the bar, like towards the end of the race, when Lando was trying to overtake Alex, everyone was cheering. Everyone was cheering and applauding for Lando. And I was there like, not you going against my father, Alex, on Father's Day of all days.
Literally.
Everyone was cheering for Lando, and I was like, it is Father's Day. It is Alex's day.
It is
And then
Alex's day and it is mother's birthday. Don't do that.
mother and father. Mama y papa. Okay. Lily and Alex. Every night.
But Lando did end up effing himself over because
And when everyone stopped clapping, that's when Ash and I started to applaud. Get down there, Lando.
Lando tried to overtake on the last lap and it just didn't work out. He went off, and the entire race I was stressed about Lance not being the points at his own home race. But thank you so much, Lando.
Thank you, Lando, for supporting my dream blunt rotation, which was Alex, SD, Lance, and Valtteri, who were all back to back with each other in the points. It's because of you. I can have amazing. We can have this, and I thank you for it.
Kind of going back to the race though, when Ferrari finally pit Charles after Carlos,
oh my god,
the anxiety that I experienced.
Ash was literally standing. You know that meme with like all the math numbers coming from it? That was Ash trying to figure out how long this pit stop needed to be in order for Charles to come out. It was so, because Ash was literally there being like, wait, okay, the average is 20 something seconds, and he has, and she's like just popping out numbers, and I'm sitting here like, girl, the mosters are hitting me a little too much. I can't even remember my own last name. But
also, the worst thing was, like, usually when someone pits during a race and there's not much going on during the race, they'll like show you like on the broadcast this person pitting, but they didn't do that with Charles. So I'm trying to look at this like tiny little screen in the corner where they're showing Charles pitting, and I'm trying to like the bottom corner, they have like the seconds of how long his pit stop is taking. And I'm literally like
counting the numbers.
I'm literally counting because I'm like, okay, like before Charles went in the pit, the gap was like 21 seconds. And I think the average time lost at the Montreal circuit is like 21 seconds. Like, is he gonna make it out in front of Carlos? Like what's gonna happen? Like, is he gonna have enough time? Blah, blah, blah. And he didn't make it out in front of Carlos, just there, like barely. But you see, like, not to be a hater, because like love Carlos, but I want Charles to come out in front. Like, I'm so sorry. I
mean, move your head a little bit.
I'm a Charles fan. If there's one thing I am in life, it's a Charles and Lance defender.
There you go.
And that just might make me the worst Formula One fan ever.
Pause. Comment down below if you think Charles comment down below who you think Charles looks like more. Do you think Charles looks like Gabrielle from Emily in Paris? Or do you think he looks more like King George from A Queen Charlotte Story? Comment down below who he looks like more. Because I want to prove a point.
This is a competition between me and Allicea.
We're not going to tell you who thinks what because of potential bias to your favorite nitty gritty host. But I want you to comment down below. Does Charles look more like Gabrielle from Emily in Paris or King Charles, like young, not the old one, young King Charles from Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story?
King Charles?
King George.
I was like, who? George. King Charles is our king. Oh, actually, not the one in England, the one in Monaco.
Ash always talks about the royal family sometimes, and it's confusing me in my brain.
Listen, I had a weird obsession in middle school. I watched The Crown and stuff, so like, I need to not.
So King George, sorry, yeah, or Gabrielle. Comment down below.
I think it's. There we go. I'm not gonna tell them.
Don't tell them. The nitty gritty bias is real.
Nitty gritty bias. It's kind of all I have for the race, to be honest.
Yeah, I was just very fearful for Ferrari, but like they actually kind of had like that strategy kind of worked. I don't want to jinx it.
Did they kind of cook? And they ate.
I mean, like, listen, Oscar was like kind of eating, but that's also like, like children should not be cooking. Sorry, do not let your children use the stove. Like, he's not allowed to cook this good, you know.
The way that Oscar is literally like how many years older than us?
How much older is he than us? How much older is he than us? Guys, I don't speak English.
That's correct English. How much older? What did you say?
How much older is he than us? That can't be correct.
I think that makes sense.
How much older is he than us?
I think that's grammatically correct.
For the first time in forever.
How much older
is he than us?
is he than us?
Than us. Hey Siri, how old is Oscar Piastri?
He's born in 01. He's literally 2 years older than us.
Yo, congratulations to you, King, for doing what you're doing at that age. It's literally 2:40 on a Monday afternoon, and
It's 3:40.
It's 3:40 on a Monday afternoon, and I have to drink this mega-sized Red Bull to keep myself going. And here you are, racing and slaying the day. So you keep cooking, King. Anyway.
What is happening? I like how we have no fucking thoughts right
now. Okay, post-race. My notes are 1, thrilled to see my favorite boys in the points. 2, this podium was kind of fire. Subpoint of that, I think Lewis getting 3rd is definitely a result of that Shakira magic, if you know what I mean.
Bro, that also, this podium is the same podium as Aussie. Australia. Yeah. Doesn't that feel like so long ago?
I know. That was a crazy time. I was so tired at that point in the season for Australia.
A few races in.
Yeah, I definitely think there was some Shakira magic used to get that podium for Lewis.
There's actually a theory about this.
Shakira.
Apparently, when Shakira and Piqué got together, Piqué started performing better. So Shakira got that magic.
That hips don't lie magic. Her
hips don't lie. Her hips don't lie.
Verstappen, believe it or not, guys, won the race. I know, crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But he gave Red Bull their 100th Formula One victory.
I thought that we both were like, that seems wrong.
That seems low. But then I saw for their 18 years since the team's debut, and I'm like, oh my god, we're older than Red Bull as a team. And that's kind of crazy.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I thought Gurley's would have hit 100 a long time ago, but I don't remember a time where Max was not slaying the day. But good for you, King.
If we had been here during Sebastian Vettel domination at Red Bull, I think I would be a different person than I am right now.
Oh, yes.
Because
I miss him.
Let's not get into a sad little rant about how much we miss Sebastian Vettel.
So maybe
oh my gosh, speaking of Sebastian Vettel, did you see that he's driving his old car at
yeah
how did I forget about that?
I saw that on Instagram.
Why am I literally forgetting? Isn't that the so basically we don't know where, we don't know what, but Seb is driving again.
Seb is in a vehicle. Everyone alert your mothers. He's in a vehicle.
Not a road car, in a racing car. He's in a racing car, and he's racing a car with e-fuels because he's a sustainable king. I don't have a hot take.
Hot take. Shakira, do your thing.
Okay.
Do your thing. I think the season's just gonna get messier personally, and I think there's so many reasons for getting messy. I mean, like Nando King, he is. I feel his presence. I feel like he's definitely gonna be shaking the grid. I don't know what I'm saying, guys.
He's gonna be shaking his gritty.
He's gonna be shaking his gritty.
He's gonna be gwitting on the gwid.
I feel like there's. No, I'm not. I'm done speaking. Yeah.
No more words for you.
No more. I've reached my word count.
I actually don't. You reached your word count.
Yeah.
I actually don't have a hot take. I don't have any. Like, my head is so empty. Like, I think this season has like low-key already killed me.
Yeah.
I'm still
Maybe catch us on a flight to Austin.
Oh my gosh, stop. We haven't even discussed this as a plan.
Hey, maybe catch us at IndyCar. I think second week of July in Toronto. We haven't confirmed if we're going, but I think
we're still doing our research off the podcast about IndyCar because we don't watch it that much. Really,
we don't watch IndyCar that much, but we want to expand our knowledge in the motorsport industry and just become more knowledgeable of other motorsports.
So if you have any important things we need to know about IndyCar,
if you have any podcast YouTubers that you'd like to recommend our way that talk about IndyCar, definitely please share them with us because we really love to learn from other motorsport lovers.
Podcasters supporting podcasters.
Yeah, any IndyCar podcasters you love to listen to, drop them down in the comments below because we'd like to learn a little more about IndyCar and maybe go to the IndyCar race in Toronto. I think it's July 14th and 15th and 16th.
And if you're going to be there, we'll see you there.
Let us know. And I mean, I'm gritty, that's nitty, and
we have nittied our gritty off enough this episode. I'm so exhausted from yesterday, low-key still. I'm like think I'm still jet lagged. Like I don't know how long it takes to not be jet lagged.
Sorry, go.
Also, hot take, actually. I have so much respect for the drivers for literally traveling across the world and racing when they're probably so jet lagged. Like I got home. As you can see, I'm not in my childhood bedroom anymore.
Yay!
I'm in Toronto. So just like traveling and doing stuff when you're like so tired because you're running on a different time zone, fucking mad respect. That's all I have to say.
Indeed. Mad respect. Their summer break is coming up too soon, isn't
it? That is true. It's at the end of July.
Yeah. Nitty gritty dissolves to dust.
Weird thing. I think Spa is before the summer break this year.
Oh my god. So Spa, July 28th to July 30th. Then yeah. And then it's summer break because it's Dutch GP, August 25th to 27th.
Usually Spa is the first race back from the
Here you go, gritty ears. Just kidding, gritty ears. You're not allowed to see. But yeah. It says Spa, July 28th to 30th. Next rate, Dutch GP, 25th to 27th of August. So,
that's not even a month.
Kind of a month. Just less than a month.
That's kind of all we have for today. We're kind of exhausted, as we've mentioned like 18 times this episode.
If you'd like to see more tipsy commentary, let us know.
I don't know if I can handle that.
I mean, the next race is not till another 13 days.
Oh my gosh, guys, let us know what you want us to do for we haven't really named it anything. Should we call it our silly segment? I don't know what it's called. We on non-race weekends, we do YouTube videos.
Oh. If you want us to be drunk while watching the races, let us know.
If you want us to do a funny video next week when we're not watching a race and we can get drunk for that, let us know.
Yeah.
And we can do like a funny reacting to something video.
In conclusion, just comment something down below and tell us your thoughts. I'm Nitty, that's Gritty.
Why am I Gritty? What if I wanted to be Nitty?
Okay, I'm Gritty and that's Nitty.
I'm joking.
Cass is the
the isn't here, so that's Nitty and Gritty.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. We're streaming however you watch this, usual outro. We will see you next week when we get into the nitty gritty. Bye.
Bye.